Hello, everyone. Give me 1 second to get my presentation up. Where to go with this? Give me 1 second here. Okay. And we should be all good there. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the presentation. So welcome to this short little discussion on the Order of the Arrow Summit experience. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Joshua Squirrel. I'm a third year at the University of Cincinnati, where I study electronic media and political science. There I'm involved with undergraduate student government and the marching band. I was the 2018-2019 Section C4 chief. I was an OASE foreman back in 2019. And then in 2020, this past summer, I was the assistant director for the Order of the Arrow Summit Experience program. In the photo in the bottom, in the robes, that was my foreman partner, Mackenzie Burke. He was the director of the program this year with me as the assistant. Over here is a crew that I had from one of my sessions in 2019, and then below was me at the World Scout Jamboree. So I'd like to start with a little bit about the program, the Fast Facts. So this program was started in 2014. It was meant to kind of be an introduction to Order of the Arrow High Adventure. You're typically in crews of 10, led by 2 foremen, and they're trained in first aid and CPR. You build mountain biking trail in the New River Gorge, and then you get to choose the activities which you do throughout your week. And these include mountain biking, climbing, skateboarding, canopy tour, zip lining. You can go BMXing. You can do the big zip. You can do so many things that the summit has to offer, including paddleboarding and the water aerobics experiences. So it's some pretty cool things. You also get the opportunity to go rafting in the New River Gorge. Every crew that goes through the program gets that opportunity. The gear, it's a pretty basic backpacking, backcountry experience gear. You need boots, water shoes, backpack, mess kits, those kind of things. Once you register, we'll give you a more in-depth look at what you need. So let's move on to the next slide. So is it going to go? Okay, there we go. So there are 2 main aspects of the Order of the Arrow Summit Experience program. The first half of the week is spent doing service, and the second half of the week is spent experiencing what the summit has to offer, right? So you show up on Sunday and you leave the Sunday following, and there's a handful of things that you do that you know about going in, but with OA High Adventures, I assume Josh talked about with Wilderness Voyage, we like to keep some things a surprise. But for sure, the first 3.5 days are spent mountain biking, building mountain biking trail, in the New River Gorge National River Parkland. So this trail, it's kind of like building hiking trail. It's just a little bit wider, and it requires a little bit different trail science. But it's the most backcountry experience that we have at the summit. And due to that, you're really separated from the majority of other SBR experiences during that time. So during those first few days at the summit, you're kind of just with your crew, getting to know those people, really building some friendships and bonds to last moving forward. And truly the service part is my favorite aspect of this program. I don't think there's anything better than getting muddy and dirty as you're building trail in Southern West Virginia. But it also just focuses on pushing your limits and growing you as a servant leader. And that's what OA Adventure is here to do. It's here to test you. And our program especially is that, as I mentioned. It's for the younger aspect of OA Adventure. It's 14 to 17, unlike the other programs, which are 16 through 20. And so our program really is focused on those youth who want to do high adventure but aren't sure it's for them, and for those who want to give back to the Summit Bechtel Reserve. And so that leads me right into the second half of the week, the experience. So just like every other OA Adventure, you get to choose your own adventure. So you and your crew make the decisions on if you want to go mountain biking, if you want to go ziplining, if you want to do canopy tours, if you want to go rock climbing or paddleboarding or lake swimming or whatever that looks like for you, you get to make that decision. And there are a ton of special experiences that only OASE participants can have. And I don't want to ruin any secrets here. So definitely register, and we'd love to show you what all of those experiences are like. But no other participants at the summit get to experience what the Order of the Arrow Summit Experience Program participants do. And as I said earlier, you get to build lifelong friends and memories. When I went on my cruise years ago, I still keep up with those friends. You know, a lot of us have regrouped. We've been on vacations together. We've camped together at national events. Two of us roomed together at NOAC in 2018. So those people that you meet on your high adventure treks are really going to be friends for life, and not just in scouting, but in every aspect of your life. And then one of the best parts of the program is getting to raft the lower New River Gorge. It's one of the best rafting experiences in the country, if not the world. And you get to do that with your crew, the people you've spent the last 8 days with, really getting to just have an awesome experience to end your week. So down into the nitty gritty registration, it's only $275 for this 8-day experience in Southern West Virginia. I know that's a little bit more expensive than the ones at Northern Tier, but it's cheaper than all the rest. And I highly recommend you check this out. A lot of our lodges in section of OA Adventure scholarships, and I know at the section level we're working to put one together. But there's also some at the region level, and a handful of national ones as well. So definitely, if you're interested, look for those, because those are a really good way to keep the affordability for these programs. And if you want more information, I highly recommend visiting adventure.oa-bsa.org. It's going to have everything you want for the Order of the Arrow Summit Experience Program and the other 4 OA High Adventure programs. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. This is my email, but I'm going to stop sharing so I can see you all. And there we go. Okay, so do we have any questions? So how early do treks usually fill up? How late can you register? So the Order of the Arrow Summit Experience Program has the highest registration rate of any of the other programs. So we typically fill almost every spot every single year. And registration's already open. So if you're interested, I highly recommend registering today. With people dropping and people picking up depending on the years, sometimes you can register as late as 2 days before your trek, and sometimes it closes 6 months before any trek starts. So if you're interested, I highly recommend checking out registration.oa-bsa.org and registering today. You only have to do a down payment to start, and if you change your mind, you can always unregister and get that refund. But interested, definitely register sooner than later. You don't want to miss out. Any other questions? All right, well, if there's no other questions, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. This is the end of my 15 minutes, unfortunately, but I hope you learned a little bit about OASE, and I hope to see you all that can on the trail next year. Have a great afternoon and enjoy the rest of Conclave. There's a lot left, so make the most of it. This is our first virtual Conclave. Thank you.